passes. Just getting situated. Seems like we are ready to rock and roll this evening. So I'm Ronald McFadden, and I have the humble pleasure of serving as the chair of the Baltimore City School Board. If you have not done so, please mute your phone. Anyone who does not mute their phone may be muted by the call moderator or asked to leave the meeting. Additionally, if you are not a board member or the CEO or her staff, please turn your video off. I will now read a roll call of the board to identify who is on the call, because we do have some members who are virtual. Please identify yourself first before speaking for the record. Vice Chair Roberts.
Vice Chair Roberts, present.
You, Commissioner Ames Messenger.
Ames Messenger, present.
Commissioner Coy.
Commissioner Coy, present.
Commissioner Esposito.
Esposito, present.
Commissioner Kenyatta Bay.
Kenyatta Bay, present.
Commissioner Muhammad.
Muhammad, present.
Commissioner Parker.
Parker, present.
Commissioner Redding Lallinger.
Redding Lallinger, present.
Commissioner Rooks.
Commissioner Rooks, present.
Commissioner Sally.
Commissioner Sally, present.
Commissioner Slater Harrington.
Present.
Thank you. I'm also in favor. Is there a motion to reopen the meeting?
So moved, Sally.
Thank you, Commissioner Sally. Is there a second?
Second.
Kenyatta Bay.
Thank you, Commissioner Kenyatta Bay. All in favor, Vice Chair Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger.
Yes.
Commissioner Coy.
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito.
Yes.
Commissioner Kenyatta Bay.
Yes.
Commissioner Muhammad.
Yes.
Commissioner Parker.
Yes.
Commissioner Redding Lallinger.
Yes.
Commissioner Rooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Sally.
Yes.
Commissioner Slater Harrington. I am also in favor. That motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion to approve the prior open session summaries?
So moved, Esposito.
Thank you, Commissioner Esposito. Is there a second?
Second, Kenyatta Bay.
Thank you, Commissioner Kenyatta Bay. All in favor? Vice Chair Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger.
Yes.
Commissioner Coy.
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito.
Yes.
Commissioner Kenyatta Bay.
Yes.
Commissioner Muhammad.
Yes.
Commissioner Parker.
Yes.
Commissioner Redding Lallinger.
Yes.
Commissioner Rooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Sally.
Yes.
Commissioner Slater Harrington. I'm also in favor. That motion passes unanimously. Now, is there a motion to approve the closed session summaries?
So move, Robert.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second, Sally.
Thank you, Commissioner Sally. All in favor? Vice Chair Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger.
Yes.
Commissioner Coy.
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito.
Yes.
Commissioner Kenyatta Bay.
Yes.
Commissioner Muhammad.
Yes.
Commissioner Parker.
Yes.
Commissioner Redding Lallinger.
Yes.
Commissioner Rooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Sally.
Yes.
Commissioner Slater Harrington. I am also in favor. That motion passes unanimously. So good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to the July 23rd Public Board Meeting. Thank you all for being here, those of you that are in person and also those of you that are virtual. Welcome. Tonight's meeting is the first in-person public board meeting for our newest board members. Two are still joining us virtually, and we do have one here with us. We have Commissioners Emily Ames Messenger, Dr. Stefan Redding Lallinger, and Commissioner Ashia Parker. Can we give these new commissioners a round of applause? Earlier this month, Mayor Scott appointed these commissioners to the board. Was it this month or was it last? It was this month. Okay, officially filling all 12 seats for our district. And again, unlike many of other school boards that serve, our board has to have very specific expertise as outlined by law. So in addition to having educators on our board, we have to have parents on our board, folks with business acumen, management acumen, folks who are knowledgeable of special education. And so it's just a broad, certainly parents, right? Because there are now many board members who serve now who are parents of city school students or future city school students. So that makes our board a bit more well-rounded than some others. And so Commissioner Emily Ames Messenger is a former English teacher at Mergenthaler Vocational Technical High School and former community school coordinator at James McHenry Elementary Middle School. Welcome to you. Commissioner Dr. Stefan Lallinger has served as a teacher, a dean, assistant principal, and principal at the K-12 level. He is an expert reviewer for the Maryland State Department of Education and senior facilitator for the Harvard University Business School. Welcome to you. And Commissioner Ashia Parker has over 20 years of experience in government administration and is a member of multiple boards, including her position as co-chair of the Baltimore City Local Control Advisory Board. Welcome to you as well. We are all excited to be working with each of our new appointees. They bring a wealth of knowledge and experience that we believe will enhance the board's work. In addition to our newest appointees, Commissioner Coy and Slater Harrington were reappointed to serve a second term during the appointment ceremony. And for the first time in history, our student commissioner, Dylan Rooks, was also sworn in, making him that first ever student commissioner officially sworn in at City Hall. Very proud of him. Congratulations to all of our commissioners. And the first day of school is fast approaching. To prepare your child for success, we encourage all families to complete the annual student verification. This is critically important as our students are entering our school buildings, and we don't want to have to withdraw any students because verification has not been done. And so please make sure that the annual verification has been taken care of. It's a process of updating your child's contact information in the district's data system. By completing the verification, you ensure that your child's school has the most up-to-date information when sharing important safety or school-related messages with families. Log into the campus portal and update your child's phone number, email address, mailing address, and emergency contacts. If nothing has changed, please log into campus portal and let us know. Families have until September 30th to complete their annual student verification. For details on how to log on to Campus Portal, please visit the Campus Portal webpage on the City Schools website, and we know that that is baltimorecityschools.org. Speaking of preparation, City Schools is collaborating with Under Armour and MedStar Health to prepare our student athletes for the upcoming school year. On Saturday, August the 3rd, Under Armour headquarters at Tie Point, student athletes can receive free physical exams, sports bra fittings, and other back-to-school resources to get ready for the new sports season. Under Armour will also unveil the brand new fall varsity athletic uniforms. We're very excited about our partnership with Under Armour, and our young people always look fantastic in those uniforms, so we're excited about that. And August 14th is summer graduation. Can we make some noise about that? Certainly, we have our student summer learning is underway. It is in full swing, and certainly we are happy to have a summer graduation ceremony for our students who have earned that right to graduate in 2024. And so we're looking forward to that on August 14th as well. So please visit the events calendar on the City Schools website for all information, City Schools. The board acknowledges a monetary donation of $5,376.80 from Keegan Whirling, LLP, to the Port Virtual Learning Program. The board acknowledges a monetary donation of $15,000 from an anonymous donor to Thomas Johnson Elementary Middle School. The board acknowledges a monetary donation of $7,142.85 from Tech for America to Gardenville Elementary School. Is there a motion to approve the PEP, the Personnel, Employment, and Payroll agenda, and the quasi judicial matters?
So moved, Roberts.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Is there a second? I
Se-
second the motion. All in favor, Vice Chair Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger?
Yes.
Commissioner Coy?
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito?
Yes.
Commissioner Kenyatta Bay?
Yes.
Commissioner Muhammad?
Yes.
Commissioner Parker?
yes,
Commissioner Redding Lallinger?
Yes.
Commissioner Sally?
Yes.
Commissioner Slater Harrington? I'm also in favor. That is 10 in favor with 1 absent. I'll now turn it over to Dr. Santelises for CEO comments.
Thank you, Chair McFadden. This evening, I'm going to invite, is it you, Jerome? I'm going to invite Human Capital up to present this evening's prep. And Jerome, why don't you introduce yourself and your role while you start?
Good evening. My name is Jerome Jones. Good evening. My name is Jerome Jones. I'm the Executive Director of Labor Relations and Negotiations in the Office of Human Capital, and it is my honor to read the PEP agenda for today. From the Office of Chief Academic Officer, the following appointments. We recommended that Christine Bell, currently math coach, 12-month, Graceland O'Donnell Heights Elementary Middle, be appointed School Success Liaison, Early Career Induction and Mentoring. And I should have said that if you are here when I read your name, if you will stand up. If you are virtual, if you turn on your camera so you can be recognized. Recommend that Dana Collins, currently principal, Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women, be appointed Coordinator, Early Career Induction and Mentoring. The following are reassignments. Recommend that Brian Broden, currently MTSS Liaison, Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, be reassigned as School Success Liaison, Multi-Tiered Systems of Support. Recommended John Bullock, currently MTSS Liaison for Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, be reassigned School Success Liaison for Multi-Tiered Systems of Support. Recommend that Dana Johnson Beckham, currently MTSS Liaison for Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, be reassigned to School Success Liaison, Multi-Tiered Systems of Support. And recommend that Jason Pinette, currently MTSS Liaison, Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, be reassigned School Success Liaison, Multi-Tiered Systems of Support. From the Office of Chief of Schools, the following appointments. Recommend that Stephanie Bass, currently Education Associate 10-month, Roland Park, be appointed Assistant Principal, Federal Hill Preparatory, effective July 24th, 2024. Recommend that Malika Bogan, currently Special Education Liaison, Special Populations, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Recommend that Vilma Bethea, currently Education Specialist 2, IEP Creation and Compliance for Special Populations, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. And that Joel Carlin, currently Academic Content Liaison for Math, be appointed School Success Liaison, Mathematics. Following appointments. Recommend that Tanya Carter, currently Academic Content Liaison Literacy, be appointed School Success Liaison Literacy. Recommend that Amber Clemens, currently Academic Content Liaison Literacy, be appointed School Success Liaison Literacy. Joy Guthrie, currently Coordinator Literacy Coaching, English Language, Arts, and Literacy be appointed School Success Liaison, Literacy. Diane Harbin, currently Special Education Liaison, Special Populations, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Daniel Holland, currently Education Specialist 2, IEP Creation and Compliance, Special Populations, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Delilah Holmes, currently Academic Content Liaison, Academic School Support, be appointed School Success Liaison, Mathematics. Devin Johnson, currently Special Education Liaison, Special Population, is appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Kelly Johnson, currently Academic Content Liaison, Literacy, be appointed School Success Liaison, Literacy. Shannon Lundy, currently Academic Content Liaison, be appointed School Success Liaison, Mathematics. Alicia Marner, currently Education Specialist 2, IEP Creation and Compliance, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Dawn McDaniels, currently Special Education Liaisons, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Catherine Meath, currently Coordinator, Literacy Coaching, English Language Arts and Literacy, be appointed School Success Liaison, Literacy. Tracy Mitchell, currently Academic Content Liaison, be appointed School Success Liaison, Mathematics. And Muena Mathau, currently Special Education Liaison, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Dan Oliver, currently Academic Content Liaison, be appointed School Success Liaison, Mathematics. Patricia Ottaway Drummond, currently MTSS Liaison for Multi-Tier Systems of Support, be appointed Coordinator, 9th grade, on track to graduate at Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts. Tia Perry, currently Academic Content Liaison for Literacy, is appointed School Success Liaison for Literacy. Arlen Quillens, currently Education Specialist 2, IEPA Creation and Compliance, be appointed School Success Liaison for Special Education. And we have the following appointments. That Nicholas Smith Rengarts, currently Academic Content Liaison Literacy, be appointed School Success Liaison Literacy. That Jasmine Roan, currently Academic Content Liaison Literacy, is appointed School Success Liaison Literacy. Eduardo Sindaco, currently Academic Acceleration Specialist, Maryland State Department of Education, be appointed ILED Secondary. Thank you for the break. Recommended that Eduardo, I already said you were Eduardo. Recommended that Bruce Stahl, currently Education Specialist 2, IEP Creation and Compliance, is appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Limbrick Walker, currently Academic Content Liaison, be appointed School Success Liaison for Mathematics. Joanne Stasek, currently Special Education Liaison, be appointed School Success Liaison, Special Education. Teresa Wilson is currently an Education Associate 10-month at Hamilton Elementary School, be appointed Assistant Principal at Hamilton Elementary Middle. Pamela Zalando, currently Academic Content Liaison, be appointed School Success Liaison, Mathematics. George Holmes, currently coordinator, ninth grade, on track to graduate. Vivian T. Thomas, Medical Arts Academy, is appointed interim assistant principal, Frederick Douglass High. Recommended that Craig Rivers, currently principal, Frederick Douglass High, be appointed interim principal, Carver Vocational Tech, effective July 24th, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. The Office of Chief Academic Officer, the following appointment. Taisha Swinton Buck, currently ILAD Secondary Schools, be appointed Deputy Chief Academic Officer. From the Office of Chief of Schools, Kelvin Moore, currently School Supports Officer, Prince George's County Public Schools, appointed Deputy Chief of Schools, effective August 5th, 2024. Reassignments. Kerwin Barber, currently Assistant Principal, Edmondson Westside High School, is reassigned Assistant Principal, Connections Academy, effective July 24th, 2024. Cynthia Brown, currently Assistant Principal, Yorkwood Elementary, reassigned Assistant Principal, P-Tech at Carver. Larry Strickland, currently Assistant Principal, Stadium School, be reassigned Assistant Principal, Walter P. Carter Elementary Middle. And Tawanda Cofield, currently Principal, Fertile Hill Preparatory School, be reassigned Interim Principal, Sharp Leadenhall Elementary School, effective June 24th, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. And almost done, people. The following appointments from the Office of Chief Academic Officer. Recommended that Peter Heineman, currently a teacher, secondary, Green Street Academy, be appointed coordinator, ninth grade, on track to graduate, Green Street Academy, effective July 24th, 2024. Recommended that Megan McPhee, currently academic content liaison for early literacy, be appointed Educational Specialist 2, TSI Program Manager, DVNT Thomas Medical Arts Academy. And that Tarita McCallum, currently teacher, secondary, to Reach Partnership School, be appointed coordinator, ninth grade, on track to graduate at the Reach Partnership School. And that Chevelle Lampkin, currently principal at National Academy Foundation High, be reassigned coordinator, ninth grade, on track to graduate at Frederick Douglass High. And from the Office of Chief of Schools, we have recommended that Ryan Golson, currently music teacher, KIPP Harmony, be appointed assistant principal, KIPP Harmony, effective July 24th, 2024. Anthony M. Cooper Jenkins, currently ninth grade, on track to graduate, Frederick Douglass High School, be appointed interim assistant principal, Frederick Douglass High School. And Shanika Herndon, this is an interim assignment out of the Office of Chief Academic Officer. Shanika Herndon, who is currently the coordinator, secondary support and transition, be appointed interim director, academic support and strategy. And Office of the Chief Operations Officer, Maureen Gershberg, currently Director of School and Facilities Planning, is appointed Director of Strategy and Facilities Planning. And finally, the Office of Chief of Schools reassignment. Oh, I read that already. And that is it.
Thank you, Jerome. That was perfect. And we owe you a complimentary bottle of water for that particularly long PEP this evening, sir. Thank you so much. And as has become our custom, I have a list as well. Not quite as long as our Executive Director Jones is, but background on each of our appointed principals this evening. So first, let's see, Principal Cofield previously served as principal of Federal Hill Preparatory School before joining City Schools. She was principal of the Auburn School, a non-public school for students with social communication challenges. She received a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Public Relations from Temple University, a master's degree in Supervision and Administration, and a master's in Autism and Other Pervasive Developmental Disorders from Johns Hopkins University. Next, Craig Rivers comes from the historic Frederick Douglass High School, where he served as principal for the last 6 years. Previously, he served as principal of Mergenthaler Vocational Technical High School for 9 years. Mr. Rivers began teaching as the former at the former Northern High School after transitioning from the United States Army as a sergeant. He holds a bachelor's degree from Johnson C. Smith University and a master's degree from Loyola University. And now, from previous meetings, Dr. Jonathan Roque has 16 years of educational experience as a principal, resident principal, assistant principal, on-track to graduation coordinator, classroom teacher, and mentor teacher. He is also fluent in multiple languages. Dr. Roque has a BA in American History, Pre-Legal Studies and Education, an MA in History and Education, and an EDD and PhD in Administration, Education, Organizational Leadership, all from the University of Puerto Rico. Mrs. Nakia McLeod started as an elementary teacher in 2013. She joined New Leaders for New Schools, and she previously served as assistant principal at Booker T. Washington Middle School for the Arts for 8 years. Ms. McLeod's academic achievements include a bachelor's degree from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore and a master's degree from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Mr. Dave Verdi is leaving Achievement Academy after serving 8 years as principal. In 23 years with City Schools, he also served at Southwestern High School and Digital Harbor High School. Mr. Verdi holds a bachelor's degree, master's degree, and certificate of advanced study from Towson University. He has completed his doctoral coursework at the Johns Hopkins University School of Education, and God bless him, he's working on his dissertation. Ms. LaWanda Wilson has worked at City Schools for the past 28 years. In addition to the classroom, she has administrative experience in elementary, middle, and high schools. Most recently, she served as principal at Bluford Drew Jemison West Academy. Ms. Wilson earned a Bachelor of Science degree in education from Coppin State University. A Master of Science degree in education from Towson University, and an Administrative One certificate from Morgan State University. Dr. Bryn Smith came to Baltimore in 2011 with Teach for America. She served for 10 years as a middle and high school teacher in special education and English. Most recently, Dr. Smith served as resident principal at Augusta Fell Savage Institute of Visual Arts. Previously, she served 3 years as assistant principal at Digital Harbor High School. Dr. Smith holds a bachelor's degree from Brown University and a doctorate in education from Johns Hopkins University. Ms. Kiana Simmons was originally a senior laboratory researcher at Johns Hopkins University, conducting stem cell and genetics research. She then changed her career path to education, serving 7 years as a secondary biology teacher and 4 years as an educational associate prior to her appointment as interim principal at Edmondson Westside High School. She holds a bachelor's degree in biology and a Master of Art in Teaching from Morgan State University. Yes, just like I love brown. Dr. Luis Lima began his career in education as an elementary school teacher overseas. Before joining Coppin Academy, Dr. Lima was an assistant principal at the Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. He holds a bachelor's degree from the Universidad de Castelo Branco in Rio de Janeiro, a dual master's degree in secondary mathematics education and career technology education, and a doctorate in educational leadership from Bowling Green State University. Dana Quainu, thank you, returns from Baltimore County Public Schools, where she was an assistant principal. She has worked as a staff development teacher, special educator, department chair, and classroom teacher. Ms. Quaino holds a BS of Science from Morgan State University and an MAT in teaching at Towson University and a certificate in school leadership and supervision from Goucher College. She is currently working on her dissertation at Notre Dame University, and God bless her as well. For all the dissertation writers, I don't know how you're doing that, and school leadership, I salute you. And that ends the profile of our leadership appointments. One of the reasons why we feel that it is important to read the profile of each of our school leaders as they are appointed is one, just to demonstrate the depth of knowledge in our team of principals, and frankly, their long trajectory for many of them in teaching, learning, and school leadership. So this is a busy time of year for appointments. Thank you for your patience, but we do think it's important, and a big shout out and congratulations to all of our appointments this evening. And I want to also second Chair McFadden in welcoming our new commissioners, Commissioner Parker, Commissioner Ames Messenger, and Commissioner Redding Lollinger. I also want a special commendation for our student commissioner, Dylan Rooks, and the reappointments of Commissioners Coy and Slater Harrington. It is now also my great pleasure to congratulate Dr. Tracy Durant, Senior Executive Director of our Office of Equity, on receiving the Championing Equity Urban School District Equity Leader Award. Big shout out. It was presented earlier this month by Amplify and the Council of Great City Schools. Dr. Durant is currently attending a conference, but she has joined us virtually to tell us more about this prestigious award. There she is, she's right there. I do have to say before I turn it over to her that in the ceremony where she was named, my cell phone went off immediately. I didn't know what had happened. I thought something at a school was breaking loose, and it was literally colleagues from across council congratulating me for having such an amazing champion of equity in our district. And as rumor has it, and I heard again at the executive board meeting this weekend, rumor has it that her acceptance speech is going down in the annals as one of the best ever given at the Council of Great City Schools. So Dr. Durant, we are proud of you and the work you do here, and we're going to turn it over to you for some brief words.
Thank you, Dr. Santelises. Good afternoon, Dr. Santelises and Chair McFadden, Vice Chair Roberts, members of the board and the public. Dr. Santelises, thank you for taking time during your comments to recognize the award, which is actually less about me and more about the amazing work that is happening in city schools and the amazing group of people I get to work alongside every day. I know that many of them have joined the meeting tonight. So if any of you are still here and are able to turn your cameras on, I would love for you to join me if possible, because this is really their award. I just want to take a moment to say on behalf of the entire team, we want to thank our CEO for your vision, your support, your innovation, certainly your belief in me and your trust in our team. I want to also thank my cabinet colleagues, the district senior leadership team, for their embrace of our approach to achieving equity in our organization, helping to change the culture of city schools by providing thoughtful leadership, vision, deep commitment, which leads to greater capacity of staff to teach and lead with equity at the center. In all of our eightness, that's a inside joke. And when I accepted the award during the meeting, I did so on behalf of the almost 10,000 employees who, as I said, are among the hardest working people in education anywhere. And to the equity team, who are the most amazing humans that I've ever had the privilege of working with. Again, this is their award, and I want to thank each of them for trusting me, for leading with me, and for growing me.
Yay. So big congratulations again, Dr. Duran. Additional shout out for the equity team and just the work that we collectively have done as an entire district over the last number of years, but certainly your leadership has been a distinctive in that journey. So congratulations again. Finally, I am also pleased to congratulate Chief Tina Hike-Hubbard, Executive Director Andre Riley, and the entire communications team on receiving the 2024 National School Communication Award of Excellence from the National School Public Relations Association for the district's website entry entitled City Schools is Emphasizing the Student Voice. And you'll be able to see it right here on screen. This prestigious award recognizes the team's dedication to engaging our community with content that describes how the district's investments in education and wholeness directly correlate with student progress and achievement. They tell our story every day with clarity and consistency to both our school family and the community at large. And I do have to say that it is the comms team that has received push over the years to say we've got to be able to get our own story out. We've got to be able to do it in multiple ways. And I just want to thank Chief Hike-Hubbard, Executive Director Riley, the entire comms team, just for taking on that challenge, and the number of people, other superintendents in Maryland, who, by the way, are like, we can't keep up with you all. Like your social media, your website, how you're doing it just makes me proud all the time. And really just want to thank you for well-deserved national recognition. So congratulations. And Chair McFadden, that ends my comments for this evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanselises. I will now review the consent agenda. Board colleagues, please let me know if you would like an item removed, and please state your question for staff. Item 9.01, Policy KCB, Volunteers. This is the second reader. I'm going to give some time. I know we have some newer commissioners. Item 9.01, Gift and Donation 1. Item 9.03, Gift and Donation 2. Item 9.04, Gift and Donation 3. Item 12.01, the College Board. Commissioner Kenyatta Bay, what's your question?
Effectiveness.
Commissioner Bay, turn your mic on so we can
I'm
record
sorry.
it for the, okay.
Question would be long-term projection of effectiveness predicated on the fact that the entrance exams for many colleges and universities are now downplaying the importance of SATs and the like. What is the College Board doing to ensure that they are keeping up with these changes, and does that mean a narrowing of their scope on colleges and the output of our scholars that are not finding this an essential tool? Comparatively, what impact will an increase have in our total bottom line? And it's a increase of, increase of 1 million, is that it? Yeah. Of 2,548,919.
Thank you, Commissioner Bay. We're pulling that for a question. So staff, please be prepared when we come back to that. Item 12.02, Discovery Education. Item 14.01, Verizon Maryland LLC. Item 15.01, TJ Distributors Incorporated. Item 15.02, Grass Mowing Services. Item 15.03, Autumn Contracting Incorporated. I'll now turn it over to the Board Executive Officer for public comment.
Thank you, Chair. Our first public comment is from Robert Miller. Agenda topic, instrumental music access. He'll be commenting live. And Mr. Miller, you'll have 3 minutes.
Sorry. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm Robert Miller. It is becoming apparent that BCPS will be undergoing changes over the next year or two. There are community members working with central office leadership to expand instrumental music access for BCPS students, being that it is presently far from what is offered in the rest of Maryland. The inequity between what city schools and the rest of the state offers is stark, as is the case even between schools within BCPS. Sometimes fair student funding is cited as a reason for this inequity, which should demonstrate how unfair it is as it presently exists. Instrumental music access has remained relatively stagnant for approximately 6 years I have been observing, and lack of access has been a problem for decades. Now, thanks to central office leadership, we may be at the cusp of a modest expansion, and I'm very concerned that it could be put on the back burner with an excuse of not wanting to make changes until leadership is stabilized long term. Please do not let this happen. Please do not make your students miss out on the benefits of instrumental music participation for even longer. Some of us have expressed why an arts education policy should exist, but in response have been told that other subject areas don't have a policy. But I'm pretty sure that language arts and math are not just offered in 15% of your secondary level schools. Instrumental music participation can add so much to students' academic and personal experiences, as is apparently understood by all of Maryland's other districts. If you don't believe me, please investigate other systems' offerings. Its existence shouldn't depend on people. It should be supported by a policy or some kind of written commitment. Meanwhile, the teacher shortage is being exacerbated by not being able to offer candidates secure, stable positions that will not be lost due to a change of administrations. Please enable an organized expansion of instrumental music programs beginning no later than 2025, and please ensure that they can thrive by providing administrative and financial sustainability and, importantly, a quality schedule designed with the participation of instrumental music educators. Some community organizations would appreciate any opportunity to participate in expanding instrumental music, along with, of course, the Fine Arts Department. Please don't postpone this initiative and have thousands more students miss out on instrumental music opportunities. This is an area where central office leadership and the Board of Commissioners can really make a difference and leave an important legacy. I very much appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Our next public comment is Councilman James Torrance. Agenda topic, community school concerns. He'll be commenting live virtually.
Good evening, commissioners, as well as Dr. Sanfelices. This is Councilman
And
Torrance.
Councilman Torrance, I wasn't, we would have had you speak a little sooner, so please forgive us. I didn't realize that you would be on our agenda tonight. So good afternoon, good evening to you.
No worries. I am sleep deprived and calling in from paternity leave currently. But I'm compelled to publicly say some things that have been concerning with the district. One, both publicly, but also preparing the board for a legislative oversight hearing that will be coming forth from my office. I have grave concerns about reorganization, including both BTU and PISAS positions, where union partners were not giving 30 days notice related to this change in the FPL, ACL positions, as well as the BTU content liaisons. In addition to that, I have grave concerns as a former colleague of mine, through just being notified of changes in leadership of the district, is no longer in a position. That is Jackie Hayden. I find it not only ironic, but also troubling given the work that took place with Ms. Hayden and I to help move a Carver community devastated by multiple instances of violence and supporting a leadership team despite a lack of leadership and support from senior executives at city schools. I say that because I have questions, I have concerns, because these decisions impact our students' academic success. They impact the stability of persons being present in our buildings, but also have relationships. In addition to that, I find that there's grave concern with school police. As I presented at the board at the city council hearing a few weeks ago, there was a blatant falsehood placed before the board operations committee about the pilot program for school police. I have concerns about that, as well as serious allegations against a school police officer that have been presented to me by multiple victims. These conversations that I've had show a lack of demeanor within senior leadership at city schools that needs to be addressed. And I am asking the board to not only meet with Ms. Hayden, as well as myself and union partners to discuss these issues, because I believe two firm things: we have to show up in good faith, but we also have to show up and do what's right for children. I sit as a parent of a city school student and a now future city school student, concerned that we are in a peril that is spiraling city schools, where we need to really address the actions of senior leadership. But I also ask that the board consider having independent review of actions taken by senior leadership at city schools. With that, I yield to the chair, and my staff will be forthcoming with a more official letter on city council letterhead, as well as you will receive notice from the executive secretary of the city council of an oversight hearing that will be scheduled upon my return from paternity leave. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Our next public comment is Rachel Simonson. Agenda topic, CEO search. This will be a video.
Hello, and thank you for allowing me to address you this evening. My name is Rachel Simonson, and I'm a parent of 2 Baltimore City public school children. A top concern for me as a parent is the fine arts and doing all we can to expand access to arts education for all of our children. Unless things change, my 2 children at their current pre-K through 8 school will not have the opportunity to learn a musical instrument. They will never have the opportunity to take part in a school choir or to participate in dance or theater at their school. But things are changing, and I want to acknowledge Dr. Sanfelices for her support of the arts. Chair McFadden, I hope there is consideration for expanding her contract to at least 2 years to ensure stability and an open and transparent search process for our next CEO. The arts have expanded under Dr. Santelises' tenure, and that progress should be protected and continued by the board and the next CEO, especially since there's no fine arts policy in place. So tonight, I just want to urge you to provide ample opportunity for parents, caregivers, and other community members to provide feedback on priorities such as the arts during the search process for the school district's next CEO. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next public comment is Andrea Curley. Topic is Miss Hayden. This will be live in person. No, Miss Curley. Okay. Okay, you'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Miss Curley had to leave, so I'm filling in for her. And then, I'll just say it. So she wrote, I'll change it to good evening. Good evening. I worked with Miss Haiti, not Miss Curley. Miss Curley has worked with Miss Haiti over the past 2 years as she led several schools. I am most familiar with her work at Carver, Douglas, Emerson. I am a community member. I live in the uplands, and I give her your title of work. Ms. Hayden has been deeply engaged in her schools and in the community to provide supervision and support on her behalf of scholars. Thank you. I was shocked and I am disturbed by her abrupt departure with no valid explanation. The principals do not have any explanation. She is not talking to us about why she was departed. Something is amiss. We would like the board to look into the circumstances of Ms. Hayden's departure. The board needs to talk to Ms. Hayden directly, not staff the board. Ms. Hayden is a leader that serves on behalf of the children. She served her principals and the schools well. I am not saying what I think or what someone told me. I'm telling you what I've witnessed myself of her work as a community member engaged in schools and the partnership with the president of the city council's office. Last year, some of what was allowed at Emerson was deplorable. Ms. Hayden stepped into and to make decisions and what needed to be done on behalf of the children and in support of the principal that she was responsible for supervising and supporting. Ms. Hayden was able to support the principal in the building, a much needed renewal leadership team in spite of her outside mending. Ms. Hayden coached the principal.
So
Sure.
we can stop time for just a moment. We want to reserve comments that are specific about staff member by name. We want to just hold off on those so that we can protect things respectfully. So I'm going to respectfully ask if you're naming people that you just omit names. But for the sake of that respect. However, if you would like to send that in writing to the board, you can still do that, and you can connect with Dr. Judkins, who's at the end. We just got a pretty late message from legal counsel just reminding us we want to make sure that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And the full board, yes, and the full board will receive it. Got it. Got it. Thank you very much. It is understood. You'll give it right to Dr. Judkins. She'll make sure that we get it. Thank you.
Our next public comment will be from Bill Gooden. Okay, citizen concern. All right, he's live in person. You'll have 3 minutes.
First and foremost, I thank y'all for this opportunity. Now, I've been to many board meetings and I talked about lots of different things, right? So I'm not used to, if I'm coming to talk about a person, I don't know how not to call their name to make the point that I'm trying to make. Because I'm here too to talk about Dr. Hayden, right? I have letters from principals and teachers in terms of their concern in terms of her invaluable service to the students and the principals. And I could understand personally people being removed because they're getting reprimands or they got bad performance, but I can't understand people getting removed if they don't have no write-ups, if they got good accommodations.
Got you. So I want to pause us again. And do we actually have someone from legal counsel who can provide an overview of why?
Is Chief Sivan close by?
And rightfully so, for the sake of members of the public, I think it's important that everyone knows why we're being advised to pause respectfully the names of folks in public testimony. We want to seek this legal counsel, Chief Sivan.
Yes, I'm here. I'm upstairs, but I decided that I would comment quickly from up here. The board's rules on public comments limit commenters from speaking about specific students or specific staff, but there are other ways for the board to take those comments, but that is a limit on particular rules of public comments.
Can I question that? Because I still don't understand. I still don't understand the point in terms of why. You know what I mean? I'm not working in the school system. I'm a community person that have concern, right? So I could give my comment and not make mention to the name because y'all already know what I'm talking about. So I guess my point is this, you know, if a person is doing a good job, right? I mean, I understand people being removed, being terminated, being demoted, but I don't understand if we saying we follow the children, you know, we want to make sure we got good people working and the teachers and the principals is happy with this person's performance, then why remove them if they're doing a good job? Now, you know, my concern is this, is that, you know, you have a board and you have leadership because they wants to make sure that people's getting a fair and a decent process, right? But I don't think it's a fair and decent process if a person is being removed, don't even really know why they're being removed or asked to vacate. So I do have concern for that. My wife, Yeti Gooden, gave 36 years to the system. You know, so I'm very familiar with the system. I mean, I've been a community activist for years, right? So, you know, seriously, I would like for somebody to fight in my behalf if I'm wrongdoing. So the only thing I'm asking this board to do, right, is to give her a fair process, and not just her, anybody else that's going through the same circumstances. We deserve that. I mean, Dr. Sandalisas, I mean, listen, I know you fought for your contract, no matter what happens, right? So, you know, people deserve at least to have a fair process. And I would hope, you know, and I heard, I was listening to you talking on the thing earlier today. So I would hope that this board, you know what I'm saying, would not just go along to go along and say, listen, if something is unfair, we want checks and balances, we want checking out. I don't think that's too much for the public to come here and ask the board members to at least make sure if people is being removed, then they've been removed by a fair process and decent process and not because they're doing their job. Is that too hard?
I'm going to appreciate you coming to chat with us tonight. And if you have something in writing, feel free to leave that with Dr. Judkins.
I appreciate y'all giving me my time. I still got 2 minutes. so I guess.
Do we still have the time?
Oh, well, I'm looking at this here. So I'm gonna just close with this. I will hope that all you board members at least make a decision to say we're gonna find out what's happening and don't just go along and take your responsibility serious as a board member to make sure that people is treated fair. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our next public comment is Sheena Smith, concerned citizen.
Good evening. I'd like to thank you all for the time to speak. And as I will eloquently try and be in those 3 minutes, as Bill stated earlier, I'm going to say allegedly because I know the board has a right, and we're asking the board to take the time to put a stay on the decision that has been placed on Dr. J.H. Okay. And what I'm asking you guys to do this because what I'm understanding, I personally met with this sister, and just as the board gave you an opportunity, Dr. Sandalise, because you are a mother, and I respect the board for doing that, for giving her a year. But this sister has a child as well, and to remove someone and not give them just cause, not only is it wrong, but it's illegal. And we should not set a precedent in this board to do something that is illegal because our children are at stake. And my primary reason for being here tonight is because when our adults are going into a traumatized situation under this type of leadership, it trickles down to our children. And as a community activist, we will not stand for this. So we are asking the board in a respectful manner to look into this matter regarding Dr. J.H. And it's not just Dr. J.H.'s from what I'm understanding from a couple other individuals. We have letters of support, and I will leave them with the chair. But there are individuals who have been removed 6 months prior to their retirement. So there's a lot of things that is going on that this board will actually open up a Me Too movement. And I reside in Bolton Hill. And one of the things that I do not take lightly is my taxpaying dollars being misappropriated. And to have this board be sued because the Me Too movement, if there are as many individuals out there as we're hearing about, it's not just Dr. J.H. So we're asking this board to please take the time to open the door, to listen to not just Dr. J.H., but every individual who is having an issue of being bullied, who are having to come to work in a hostile work environment. And I will say allegedly for the sake of legalities, because it does have to be investigated. And so I would like to take the time to thank everyone who did allow me to speak on behalf of Dr. J.H. today, which it's an entire group of individuals who said nothing but positive things. She has an impeccable record, and this has not, in my opinion, no one has disciplined her, as Bill was saying. So to remove someone, it's unfair. And I've met with you over 8 years ago, Dr. Sandalise, over at Dunbar, and I explained to you and every other board member, until you do right by our children, God will constantly have you all held accountable. Our children deserve better. It is not a personal issue. This sister has an impeccable record. She has not been disciplined, so therefore she should not have been terminated. And I'm certain that legal will probably end up getting involved. And so we're coming to trying to prevent that, at least open the door and talk with her. And I thank you so very much for your time, and I appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Our next comment is Aretha Mayfield. Topic, education concern.
Good evening again. So I'll take out the names again. Good evening again. My name is Aretha Mayfield, and I'm a life member of Frederick Douglass High School, Sigma Gamma Rho, and a life resident of the Sandtown community, where I live and I worship, and I have been with the city serving the community for over 31 years. Dr. J.H. is a very respected person in her place of employment, in her neighborhood, and in her community. My interaction with her was at Frederick Douglass High School, dealing with the youth, dealing with the teachers, dealing with the parents, the outreach and everything, as far as the students that are at that school and many other schools that Dr. J.H. has been a member of or affiliated herself with these schools. She's a good speaker. She's participated in many workshops as a facilitator. She travels throughout the city providing her services as being a mom, a nurse, a counselor, a teacher, a friend, a sister, giving a hug, an ATM machine. She's so many other things that I can just go on and on and on. So I'm asking that before you do make your final decision, that you do check her resume, that you do check her track record, that you do check her history. Like it was said, if progressive discipline is always wanted for a final decision in anything that you make, and I'm not sure of what happened to come to this place, but I ask the board that you reconsider and you reevaluate her abruption departure. Thank you.
Thank you. That is our last public comment.
Thank you. Based on public comments, are there any additional items any board members would like to pull from the consent agenda? Thank you, Vice Chair. Item 1201, the College Board. Do we have someone from staff available to speak to that?
Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening. And you have Commissioner Bay's questions already?
Yes, I do.
Okay, got it.
Yes, sir. So in light of Commissioner Bay's questions and some of the responses to those questions, we did have a written response earlier today. And in response to that, SAT, we know during the pandemic was the requirements were from universities pulled back to create a more diverse population in our schools during the COVID pandemic. But as we're coming out of the COVID pandemic, schools are requiring now, your Ivy League schools now have started to require for SAT requirements now. And the University of Maryland system, they put a dissent decree in up until 2025 And the Board of Regents will be revoting in this actually current year to reinstate SAT. SAT is very important because, yes, they did waive the requirements, but SAT was important for scholarship and for specialty programs in the university. And so that's part of the reason why we are still holding our students accountable for SAT, and not only SAT, but PSAT, because PSAT, this is where you get your National Merit Scholars. And a lot of high schools throughout Forbes and Ed Week and Newsweek, you'll see the more number of National Merit Scholars you have, the higher rating that your school district can become with more National Merit Scholars. And National Merit Scholars come from the PSAT scores. And so that's why we are here at City Schools are really taking a good look at the SAT, PSAT, and not only those two exams, but all of the College Board exams with our AP scores as well.
Just going through notes.
So looking at the value of the SAT, the value of the SAT, yes, it shifted the landscape during the pandemic, but now that the value of the SAT is coming back, like I said earlier, a lot of our Ivy League schools now are requiring the SAT. University of Maryland will be voting this school year to bring that requirement back in 2025-26 school year. There are a couple articles that were pasted in the document that we sent from the LA Times, from the New York Times, Ed Week, and Forbes, letting us know that SAT is coming back and is coming back with those requirements for our students. And the value also for SAT is that not students, yes, can get in without it, but they cannot receive the scholarship money that comes with higher SAT scores. There are some colleges of engineering that still need to take the SAT score or the subject-specific SAT. There are different schools within the university that are still requiring SAT scores. So it is still valuable for our students to take it as well. And then the bottom line, I think the question of the bottom line for
An increase of $1,235,885.
So the increase, Commissioner Kenyatta, the increase is that is a span over 2 years, but also the increase is that we included AP exams within our whole board letter for College Board. So not only is it just SAT, PSAT, but it's all of our AP exams as well. So that's why you see the increase in costs.
Is it okay if I just add one thing really
Absolutely.
quickly? I think also in terms of return on investment and impact, Commissioner Kenyatta Bay, one of the things that we have seen is year over year, the expansion of our students who are taking AP has grown. We were cited in the top 10 in the nation from Council of Great City Schools for expanding AP access, particularly for underrepresented students within that. We also have heard from young people, students themselves, that it has made them more competitive for more highly selective programs like University of Maryland College Park Engineering, for example. The two young people from Dunbar who got into Harvard last year are very vocal about the fact that it was their AP coursework that allowed them to be competitive. And we have increasingly large numbers of young people who started with lower scores on the exams and this year, and we'll be bringing that report, but we can also forward that to you.
Absolutely.
We, year over year, have increased numbers of young people from Baltimore City who are scoring at the higher level, so who are getting closer to passing. So moving from 1 to 2 and from 2 to 3. So I do think the impact of even when young people do not, and the College Board was very deliberate about this about 3 or 4 years ago, of being very proactive and saying that even if young people were not ready to get a 4 or a 5 on the AP, just the exposure from their own research to AP level coursework allowed young people to get greater exposure to college level coursework. So the team, the teaching and learning team, the CCR team has been very big about having multiple options, but I think that might be helpful also when you ask the question about impact. Some of that data might also lend to an answer to your question.
Right, and we're also back to our pre-pandemic numbers of students sitting for the AP exams. And so that's probably why you also see an increase in the dollar amount, because during the pandemic, yes, we tailed off just a little bit, but now we're back up with some of those pre-pandemic numbers for the exams and the exams that are being taken by our students. And we want to be equitable across the whole district. And so we really want to make sure that every student has access to that AP exam.
Okay, and the question was posed because I think this is something the public needs to be aware of, as to why we make an increase of that size, but also the impact and the necessity of the AP, especially the AP portion of the that's being offered, because at times people do not hear or understand equity works both ways. And so we need to be able to put that out so people understand what we're doing in such a large increase. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any additional questions?
Just an additional thought, just
Commissioner Sally?
yeah, just something else for us to think about is one of the ways in which our schools get credit underneath the Maryland accountability system is readiness for post-secondary success. And so ACT, along with a number of other options that the state provides, all of those things figure into our cumulative score for each and every one of our high schools. So it's just another reminder for all of us here on the board when we're talking about student success, when we're talking about graduation rates, when we're talking about where do our scholars go, we want to make sure that all our schools are given credit for preparing our young people for life after city schools. So
Absolutely. It's a part of the Maryland accountability system with credit for access to well-rounded curriculum and credit for well-rounded curriculum. And AP is included in that star rating. Thank you.
Any additional thoughts? Thank you very much. This goes back on to consent. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So
Thank you, Commissioner Slater Harrington. Is there a second?
second, Sally.
Thank you, Commissioner Sally. Any readiness? Hearing none, all in favor, Vice Chair Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Ames Messenger,
Yes.
Commissioner Coy,
Yes.
Commissioner Esposito,
Yes.
Commissioner Kenyatta Bay,
Yes.
Commissioner Muhammad,
Yes.
Commissioner Parker,
Yes.
Commissioner Redding Lallinger,
Yes.
Commissioner Rooks,
Yes.
Commissioner Sally,
Yes.
Commissioner Slater Harrington. I'm also in favor. That motion passes unanimously. Be a special meeting of the board tomorrow at 4 p.m. Be a virtual meeting. Be a special board meeting tomorrow, Tuesday. No, not tomorrow, but Tuesday, August 13th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Policy Committee will meet on Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, 4 o'clock p.m. There will be an executive board meeting and public board meeting. The next meeting will be Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, where the board will meet in exec session at 3:30, and then the public meeting will begin at 5:30. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Sally.
Thank you, Commissioner Sally. Is there a second? I second the motion. All in favor, please answer by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes unanimously. We are adjourned at 7:41 PM. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Put a block up here.